What's going on, guys? This is your model of the IWC Gamers Goon here today with your Money in the Bank preview and predictions. Money in the Bank is, for some reason, taking place today on July 2nd. I'm not exactly sure why we're doing a Saturday rather than a Sunday, but it is what it is, and we have an interesting card on the books here. So, with this card, we only have 6 matches announced. Obviously, we're going to have 2 Money in the Bank ladder matches, and then the other 4 remaining matches. I imagine one of the matches will kick off the show, and the other Money in the Bank will finish the show. That's just the easiest way to pace the show. This show, man, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going into it with that much excitement outside of the Money in the Bank matches. The Money in the Bank matches are the only things that I really care about when it comes to this show. If you look at the other stuff in this show, it's just really not anything too special. For example, let's start off with Ronda Rousey and Natalya. They have a little bit of a Twitter beef going on. It's just something that I'm not really interested in, to be honest. I find both of these women boring in the ring. Ronda Rousey, at one point, I did like in the ring. Natalya, also one of those people that at one point I did like in the ring. But as time goes on, that like appeal of those characters just wear out when you realize how limited they are. And I'm not really too excited about this SmackDown Women's Championship match. Granted, it might be a good match. Natalya can wrestle good matches. Ronda, not necessarily the same, but this could be an interesting little match. But Ronda Rousey wins this shit, man. It's just the easiest way to go about it. Is Ronda Rousey winning. And like I said, not too much excitement for that match, at least on my part. Maybe you're excited for it. I don't know who's excited for this match, but it ain't me that's excited for this match. Then we go to Theory versus Bobby Lashley for the United States Championship. This match, a little bit more interesting, but also not as interesting, really. Theory is somebody that I do not agree with. I don't see the appeal to Theory. I don't like Theory. I don't think that he's the guy. I don't think he should be the next John Cena. I don't think any of this shit about how he's going to be a star should actually happen. Because, to be honest, he's one of those guys that I also feel like he's missing something. I'm not saying he's a bad wrestler. I'm not saying he's boring. There's just something about him that isn't there with Theory. Whereas Bobby Lashley had that with him for a long period of time until the Hurt Business, and ever since the Hurt Business, Bobby Lashley's been must-see. Bobby Lashley, I would hope, could win this match, but I'm going to go Theory, as they're probably going to build towards Theory eventually dropping that United States Championship and going on to the main event scene at some point in the future. Then we get into the other women's championship match, the Raw Women's Championship match. We have Bianca Belair versus Carmella. Once again, something that I don't particularly care about. Bianca is great. Bianca, one of the best women's wrestlers, not only in the company, but in the world. Carmella, on the other hand, I don't understand why she needed this opportunity. I don't understand why she's not in Money in the Bank. I don't understand why they didn't have anybody else ready. Carmella is somebody that should not be getting a title shot right now unless it's through a Money in the Bank. She is not in a position to be a contender. She's not like a Rhea Ripley. She's not like a Becky. She's not like any of these other women that have been near the top lately. Carmella is just Carmella. She really hasn't done much to be here, and then they put her in an opportunity here, and they're giving her a Raw Women's Championship match, and I just don't see how she's going to win this. Bianca Belair wins this for me. And then we have the final regular match of the show, the Unification Undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship match. Why did I say unification? Undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship match between the Street Profits and the Usos. The Usos will be defending their championships, and I've been saying this every single step of the road with the Usos. Those guys are not losing those titles until Roman Reigns loses his. And I'm sticking true to that. I would love to see the Street Profits win. The Street Profits are somebody that I think has a very high ceiling in WWE. I think they're great. I love the Street Profits. They're exciting to watch. They have a great moveset. They're fan favorites. Everything about the Street Profits screams money. Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to be making money tonight at Money in the Bank. They're going up against the Usos, and I don't see them winning. And then the match to more than likely start the show here is going to be the Money in the Bank ladder match for the Women's Championship opportunity. And that is between Lacey Evans, Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, Raquel Gonzalez, Asuka, Shotzi, and Becky Lynch. Man, the one thing that I have a problem with this women's stuff is I believe there was a stat somewhere or at some point that these women do not hold the briefcase long. There's not been one long briefcase run with the women. It hasn't happened. And until we see that, I'm not going to really invest too deeply into the winner here. I'm more so thinking about who needs it now, who's in a spot right now that they could cash in potentially tonight and be ready to be a champion. So that eliminates a lot of women out of this. Shotzi, I don't think is ready soon. And these women cash it in pretty quickly. I don't think Shotzi's ready for that. Raquel Rodriguez. Why did they change her name? I don't understand these. I don't understand these people, man. But she's not ready right now. She is not in. She does not need to win a championship in the next 3 months, and I don't think this women's briefcase is going to be held for longer than 3 months. Liv Morgan, I see it. I do. But Liv Morgan right now is a babyface. Liv Morgan, somebody people like. Liv Morgan would be the kind of Money in the Bank winner to tell somebody beforehand, say, hey, Bianca, I want a match against you at SummerSlam. But I don't think that's what these women's Money in the Banks really do. I don't think that's what we're going to get from Liv Morgan. And then you got Lacey Evans, who also is not ready for a women's championship in the next 3 or 4 months. So that leaves really 3 options here to me. Alexa Bliss, who we all know can be a heel, and we all know is willing to cash in. She would be a 2-time Money in the Bank winner. Asuka, who won Money in the Bank and was gifted the title because Becky went away with her pregnancy, or Becky. And to me, you got 2 women in there that have won it before. You got 1 woman in there that has been the prominent figure in the women's division, the one that is probably the most polarizing character in that women's division, whether you love her or hate her right now. Becky, she's a heel. It would make sense for her to be ready right away. It makes sense for her to potentially cash in tonight. And this is going to be a completely different approach that I'm going to take to the men's one, because the women's ones, we haven't seen a long title or a long contract thing, where we have with the men. So my assumption here is Becky's going to win. If they want to, for some reason, finally start looking towards the future, if they want to start building somebody up, if they want to do something like that, I would give it to Liv Morgan. I don't think it's going to be Liv Morgan, though. And then we get to what I believe is going to be the main event. We have Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, Omos, Sami Zayn, Riddle, and Madcap Moss. And I cannot believe that they could not find better people than Omos and Madcap Moss to be in this match. Are you serious? Are you serious? Ain't nobody want to see that shit, man. Ain't nobody want to see them. Sheamus, fine. McIntyre, fine. Rollins, fine. Zayn, fine. Riddle, fine. The other two, really? Really? Who the fuck wants to see Omos win the Money in the Bank? Like I said, I'm not going to go about this as, oh, they're going to cash in quickly. This doesn't need to be ready now. Omos has had how long, and he's still not fucking ready. Omos has had how long, and he still can't even wrestle. Omos has had how long, and he sucks. He's horrible. Madcap Moss, good for him. Madcap Moss is somebody that I like. I just don't think he stacks up to the competition. Maybe this is the moment that he wins and randomly, all of a sudden, becomes a main event player. I doubt it, but at least Madcap Moss can fucking wrestle, unlike Omos. And then we have the other people in this match. Sami Zayn. I would love to see Sami Zayn win this. But Sami Zayn blocked me on Twitter, so fuck Sami Zayn. I don't know why Sami Zayn blocked me on Twitter, but he fucked Sami Zayn all of a sudden, because this motherfucker blocked me, and I would tell you that he should win the Money in the Bank. Even though his character fucking sucks, he doesn't do shit, and he's always a fucking jobber. Block me now, Sammy. Block me now. Riddle. He's somebody that I can see winning. Riddle's somebody that I think is ready. I think he has that main event feel. I think I would love to see something like him and Roman. I would love to see him going into like a WrestleMania, SummerSlam, one of the big shows, Royal Rumble. I'd love to see Riddle do something, the respectable one, oh, I want you at this show type of thing. I wouldn't necessarily book Riddle as a heel Money in the Bank winner, but I do think Money in the Bank would elevate Riddle. He is a goofy character. He is a funny character. He is somebody that likes to have fun with his character, and I think that would be a good addition. And it's not like fucking Otis that's his whole thing. Riddle is serious in the ring. Riddle can get the job done. Riddle's legitimately a star in the making, and Money in the Bank has been known to make stars. Riddle could be made a star with Money in the Bank. So Riddle is high on my list of priorities for who should win Money in the Bank. Sheamus. Sheamus is somebody that's won Money in the Bank. Sheamus is somebody that can be top heel. Sheamus is somebody that I think should have more opportunities. Sheamus is somebody that I think still could be a main event player. I don't necessarily think that they think that, though. And since I don't believe they think that Sheamus is still that main event player that he once was, I'm going to say it's not going to be Sheamus. I'm going to eliminate him from the top, however many I end up having. Drew McIntyre. Drew's just... He's been to the top. He doesn't really need Money in the Bank. I don't see why he'd get Money in the Bank. He would be the same thing Riddle would be. He'd be the respectable, oh, I'm going to cash it in this way, this match, this how. Drew McIntyre doesn't need Money in the Bank to get that championship match. Riddle would need Money in the Bank to get that championship match. Drew McIntyre's been in the main event scene, and if he wants a championship match at a certain show, he could easily pick a fight leading into that show and get that championship match. Whereas Riddle, they still might look at him and be like, hey, this guy's still chopped liver, I'm not going to fucking fight him. And then you get Rollins, who is by far the top heel candidate to win this match. Rollins has been brilliant under this gimmick. Rollins has been amazing. I could see a scenario where he wins Money in the Bank and Becky wins Money in the Bank, and we get a picture of them both winning Money in the Bank. In the back, I can see it now. But I have a heel winning the women's match, and I want to have a babyface win the men's match, and I'm gonna take Riddle. I can see it being Seth Rollins. I understand why people would pick Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins might be the favorite in this. I'm going with Riddle. I'd rather see Riddle win. I think he has a chance. I think he's going to be probably up there in the top 2. Money in the Bank winner might not even be decided right now, and we're only a few hours away from the show. We're about 6 hours away from the show. They still might not know who Money in the Bank is going to be. It might be picking right now between Rollins and Riddle. We don't know. The WWE has had tendencies to pollate Obviously, that might not be the same with Vincent Kennedy McMahon no longer being the head of the show, with it being Stephanie as the head of the show. And obviously, Triple H is going to be probably more than likely helping out with this show. Riddle was a big Triple H guy. Rollins himself was a big Triple H guy too, but I think Triple H would be more inclined to give it to Riddle. As for Riddle, hasn't been up there, and he could easily become legit. But I'm going to go with Riddle. Let me know down below who you think's going to win at Money in the Bank. It should be a decent show. The 2 Money in the Bank matches will be fine. They usually carry these shows, and it probably will this show too. But thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, do all that fun stuff. And I will talk to you guys after Money in the Bank. Yes, I will be doing a Money in the Bank review.